Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, this is Tony. My EH says the barrel proof, no tastes good. You call me at 859 TATER. Takes her. Bye-bye.
Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 159 of the Mashup, the best bourbon conversation Kenny's going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Anthony, Kenny, and Steven. Hello, sirs.
Wiki. Wiki wild. Wiki what?
There you go. Hey.
Kaboom. What's up, y'all?
You guys pulled a fast one on me, right? So I leave for like a split second, and all of a sudden you go and you interview David Jennings. No, I'm kidding. I know.
Timed it up just perfect.
No, man, that was really cool. I was...
We missed you, though, dude.
No, I
missed your leadership that night.
No, I missed you guys. I think you guys did a wonderful job, and David Jennings was fascinating to listen to.
He was.
He actually was.
Yeah.
I really did miss you, though.
Well,
because, I mean, the listeners, we don't have video, so they don't know.
Yeah.
I like to sit back and just drink and scroll Facebook while we're recording. And so I actually had to do a little more than that night.
He missed 7 bottles.
I could have been some bottles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad you're back.
DJ cut into your bin time on the markets. That's great.
Good.
Well, I missed both of you guys, and we got to do some fun stuff here this past weekend.
We did.
I worked.
But after your work.
Oh, after my work. Yes.
So here as Memorial Day weekend, you came in your work clothes and your outfit, but we went over and checked out our buddy Perry Ritter. He and Eric Smith have the podcast. This is My Bourbon Podcast, and they had a live event in downtown Lexington, and we all foolishly bought tickets. Yep. Just kidding, not foolishly. That was the second time I had been to the event, their live podcast. I think they've been doing it maybe 4 or 5 years now. That probably longer than that, at least some kind of event. But for me, as a second-time attendee, I had a really good time. I thought that there was a lot of good vendors there. We'll talk about there in a second. But what do you think? Initial impressions, Mr. Steven?
It was a little different. It was a little more intimate than I was expecting. I don't know if in the past years I've seen them like up on stage, and I was expected, just to have a couple rows of seats in front of them up on stage, but they were like in leather seats, kind of more intimate setting.
Yeah.
So that was really neat to see.
Yeah, I thought so too.
A little different. I was expecting.
The funny thing was they had Kenny Coleman there from Bourbon Pursuit, and most everyone who hopefully listens to our podcast knows who Bourbon Pursuit is. And if you don't, that's fine. Don't listen to their podcast. I'm just kidding.
I've tried a few times, man. I know you love them, dude. I just can't. That's
Yeah, well, a personal preference, but it was funny because when he got up there and like Steven's described with the couches, he said, "I've never done a live podcast before,"
which
right?
kind of blew me away.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, he said, we've done live events and things, but we've never actually recorded a live podcast. I was shocked by that.
And I guess I was a little shocked by that because they have Minnick on there.
Yes.
And Minnick's done a whole lot of like live stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Either like, he does like the best of and it's live.
Yeah.
And it goes on for 25 hours. Or he does all that rock, that metal stuff at like concerts and stuff. So
yeah. Did you see the one year? I think it was like maybe 3 years ago when he did the live best of. By the end of it, he was in poor. Minnick was in poor shape by the end of it.
I give props. That's like our best of blinds.
I know.
Gosh, oof.
I mean, he has like 200 bottles in front of him.
Oh, it was crazy. I couldn't believe that. But that, So that was a fun event. Kenny, what'd you think of it?
Well, a couple things.
Yeah.
I've never done a live podcast. Mm-hmm. But I've recorded with Mosick that doesn't edit, so it's the same thing as being live. So you got to really watch what you say,
right?
I have 2 words as for my takeaway from that event.
Okay.
And anyone that attended the event that's listening to this, I don't know if anybody. I guess some people will listen.
There'll be some crossover. Yeah.
Bread pudding.
Oh, the bread pudding.
It was
legit.
Oh man,
bread pudding was dope. But no, it was good. I've never been to something like that ever because we talked about it before. I mean, I sip and hang with my buddies and you all, and I don't get into listening and watching a lot of YouTube videos and listening to other podcasts that much. So it was interesting. It was cool. Barry and Tori were there. Barry with RD1, his wife Tori. It was fun hanging out and talking to them for a little while. They're good people, man. I like them.
Right.
And then Wing King, so they had really good food there. So I
Wing
was
King.
happy about that.
There's a shout out for you. Wing King's the bomb.
Yeah. It wasn't microwaved food. It didn't look like. It was.
No.
It's
No, it's more like oven.
Oven.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Shout out Mosick.
Let me back up here
Masak.
for a second, right? So we had our own little I guess
Corner.
group corner
Yeah.
that we went with, and so Mosick, of course, was there with his girl, and Mosick's with Journey Drinkers, right? And then Jason was there as well with Arsenic Culture, and we all were kind of hanging together.
Yep.
And Kenny was just belting out all different kind of jokes. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to explain this joke.
Yeah,
I don't think it's one need to explain.
Well, I had nothing to eat that day, and the guy started drinking a little bit, and just started firing stuff off because there's some cool people in the room, and there were some like, what are these dudes in this room, man? It was like, ugh. I mean, like, ugh. So
Come on.
I had to just, If you've seen the little memes floating around about about pizza rolls, you got microwave pizza rolls and you got oven baked pizza rolls, and there were some good little jokes there going on.
There was.
We'll just say that. We'll leave it at that.
Oven holds up, microwave doesn't. So, what do you guys think about the format?
No, I think the format was pretty cool. So the way they had it set up was like in segments,
Which I liked.
yeah, and they would do breaks between each time they interviewed, and so they had 4 vendors there. The 4 vendors that were there were Pursuit United, which is Bourbon Pursuit's brand. There was Bardstown Bourbon Company. There was Dark Arts Whiskey House, which we had Macaulay Minton on the podcast previously.
RD1.
RD1 with Barry, as Kenny just said. And so what happened was they wanted to feature each of them in addition to having a co-hosted conversation with Kenny Coleman of Pursuit United and Bourbon Pursuit. So it was broken up into segments. They kind of did it like that. I thought it was good. I don't know what I would have done differently because I never really thought about having a live podcast before, but it was interesting.
I like the aspect that kind of like everyone that was there brought several bottles to sample, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
So it was
you
like a bottle share.
Right. And so you had each segment went on for 15, 25 minutes or so.
Yep.
And then they had a break for 10 minutes or so. So people would walk around and sample bottles. So I don't know when people go to that thing, is it more like just a social thing and there happen to be like a podcast you like doing their thing? Or would you want like a real episode that you're like a part of and less social interaction?
Well, I think the way they've done it in the past is they've wanted a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But it seemed like this year, compared to the one I went to that was at the Clarion Hotel, there was more, what I want to say, there was less of a focus as much on the podcast because there was so much talking going on and so much socializing going on. So I think it was more of a balance, but I think that's kind of what they're going for.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm fine with what they did. I like that they had like giveaways each segment. That was kind of a fun little surprise.
Yeah. We didn't win anything, but
Well, one of us could have, but we left early.
Oh yeah, we cut out at like right at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I should have left my ticket behind with Mosick, but yeah, we left out early, so my number was drawn at the end.
See, Kenny, like I knew my number wasn't gonna get drawn no matter what because it's kind of like bourbon lottery luck that I have too.
Dude, I have the worst luck though.
Never gonna get drawn anyway, so I figured even in a room that wasn't really, what'd you say, there's about 50 people total there?
No, I would say about Mosick and his girl, they were just after me. They're 2 of the last people, like 37, 38.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not far
I
from 50, but yeah.
I was including like the vendors and
I
other
got
people
you,
coming
got you.
later. Yeah,
Yeah.
about 50 people. So it was an intimate
You're
group.
right.
It was an intimate
You're a
group.
very good judge of a size of a room. You're used to looking at the classroom there, gauging your students. So that was a pretty accurate number if you count the vendors, Anthony. I'm pretty impressed.
Kenny, it was like give or take one.
Yeah, I'm
You guys are killing me over here. So the fun didn't just start at the podcast, right? It continued. So this thing was supposed to go from 6 in the evening to 9 o'clock, and we left right at 9 to go over to a new place in Lexington called
Constitution Library and Bar.
Is it Library
Rare
and Bar?
books and
Library and Books or Library
speakeasy.
and Bar, but it's like a hidden speakeasy thing.
Yeah. So I was really excited about that. And we went there and got some craft cocktails, but there was also some interesting people there as well. So what's the best way? You think I'd even talk about this on the podcast or not?
I mean, if you want, hang on, it's 2024.
Yeah.
You can definitely talk about the man trying to get you to do drugs with him if you'd like. I mean, you You said no, so I mean, you can definitely talk about it.
But Kenny, if you noticed, he kind of brushed him and went to the bathroom. So I don't know what that was about.
I got Anthony's back on this. He did not. It was a very weird. It was cool for a long time, and then it got awkward. That's the best way to describe it.
I can't stop laughing over here because basically what happened was
we're minding our own business, all six of us in a cube.
Yeah, and then just some other people that were curious in the conversation came over and started talking to us. And one of the gentlemen that was part of the group that was talking to us whispered something in my ear, and I was like, "No." He basically,
I would leave it at that.
So past the awkwardness, we held our own. We finished our
Very
drinks,
strong.
got our tab, and got out of there. But it was a fun evening, even with the
cool
hijinks.
Yeah,
it was a cool spot. And the funny thing is I would go back. That didn't scare me away from there.
I think it met all my expectations.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
I think it was really cool inside. I'm glad that the cocktails are really interesting.
Yep.
And the atmosphere was cool.
Yeah, the Manhattan was my favorite though, and I'm do I need to go anywhere to get a Manhattan? I just really like a Manhattan.
I like every drink had its own glass, official glass.
That's true.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, every glass,
Cool.
Every drink we had different glass.
Yep.
Whatever that one thing that Jason got, El Dorado or something with the jalapeno in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
the
pretty
jalapeno
good.
mezcal thing. That was really
pretty good.
tasty. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a fun little excursion. And it's what the cool thing is as much as we get together to record and stuff like that, we don't get the opportunity to do that kind of stuff all that often, right? We're usually sitting around sipping, usually at someone's house, and not usually going out. And
It's
then
less
doing things like
expensive,
that.
bro.
So it's
Come
less
on,
expensive.
man.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I think 2 drinks. I was into 2 drinks for $53 or something like that.
But the first drink you bought was like literally double the price of
I had to though, right?
crap,
I had to
did
buy it if it's on there.
And was it good?
It was good.
Okay.
It wasn't $35 good. I'm not sure, and that's no disrespect to them. It's just I can get I can get 3 solid cocktails at most places for $35.
Yeah.
So I think that I'd put it mid. If it was a $20 to $25 drink, I would have been a little happier. But
Definitely.
but it was still good.
They had a lot of good cocktails that are $15. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff.
Well, we had another anonymous 5-star review this week on Apple Podcasts, so that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I try to stay in the shadows.
Kenny's not even leaving reviews anymore. He's just doing 5-star
Just
ratings.
doing 5-star
There you
ratings,
go.
man. It is
Well,
what
thanks,
it
Kenny.
is.
It's great, very gracious of you.
Yeah, very
Now, I
good.
did have a lot of people reach out. I know Ben Curver, one of our like a while back, Anthony, you sent something like we're actually charting in Australia.
Right.
I think it's thanks to Ben.
Oh, really?
But I had Ben. I had, I think, Ryan, which I think even Alves, the other Ryan, one of the other Ryans told you, had a lot of people really, really enjoyed that episode with David Jennings. I enjoyed it. I just like nerded out. It was just fun, just the stories, hearing him talk and just seeing his journey. I thought that was pretty cool. So I know it was a longer episode than usual, so appreciate the listeners that stuck it all the way through. It took me about 3 days to listen to it because, listen to it 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and, but been busy at work too.
It was definitely a chunky episode, but in a good way.
Yeah.
But no, I heard good things too. I know through social we heard a lot of different good feedback. People were really just excited to hear.
Yeah.
They're excited about the skill that we have as interviewers. No, I'm just joking. They were there for DJ. They weren't there for us.
Yeah. I just thought it was really cool how organic that whole relationship.
Right.
Because he is like he's in. Like
Right.
Campari even like runs things by him and stuff, man. It's kind of wild. So
That was amazing.
it's cool how it just organically happened. I thought it was pretty neat.
I agree.
But if you'd like a shout out, just leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or however. Next time we record, we'll give you one. So, fellas, for this week, we had a tater tube bottle to review.
Tater tubes.
Tater. So, for this week, we have a bottle of Taylor Barrel Proof Uncut Unfiltered.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
I didn't say it.
It's Taylor Barrel Proof Bourbon. This is batch 12 coming to us from the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, even though the label says it's from the old-fashioned Copper Distillery. The ABV on this is 66.55. The proof is 131.1. This is non-age stated, but it is generally believed to be 6 to 8 years old. The bottle date is 2023. The mash bill is unknown, but this is BT mash bill number 1, and that's supposed to be the low rye mash bill. Same as Eagle Rare, Stag, BT, and so on. The MSRP is $70. But if you find it for $70, you're doing well because it's typically not a bottle. It's going to be on the shelf for $70.
So it's a mash bill is unknown and it's non-age stated.
There you go.
Imagine that.
Oh, what are you saying, Kenny?
No, I'm glad we're doing this bottle because I've been meaning to talk about this for a little bit. Ralph kind of gives me a hard time.
What does Ralph officially do that BT?
I really don't know.
I don't know.
I can text him real quick.
No,
but
okay.
He's like, be easy on BT. Take it. I am. I'm harder on them than I should be. But it's things like that irk me.
Okay.
Just non-age stated stuff and unknown mash bills and what's this and what's that.
Right.
But no, Buffalo Trace, I give them a harder time than I should because they do make very good product and they are a true legacy distillery. So I just give them a hard time though for things like that. And their marketing is very solid, and it just makes a lot of bottles that should not be highly sought after and allocated. Yeah. But it's not their fault that I guess people fall into that taterdom like that. But Anthony,
well, I was going to say,
hold the mirror up for you.
I will say that.
Yeah.
But Kenny, am I hearing this correctly? Are you sort of coalescing here and saying nice things about Buffalo Trace? Because I get it. You never really said anything too bad other than when you have bottles like this, right? So the MSRP on this is $70, and this is probably the first year in a long time where the resale price of this is not astronomical. I think I saw one selling a local group for $300 the other day.
Yeah, local nodes have fallen from that $450.
Right.
Were they even up to $5 for a while?
$450, $500.
Now $275 to $300, something like that.
Yeah. And so, but here's the thing though, they haven't been raising their prices like others have.
Correct.
So even though, like, I guess I don't want to go down a rabbit hole right at the beginning before we even talk about the tube in this bottle, but I will say this. I think that part of the bad rap that Buffalo Trace gets is because of the resale, right?
And, Daniel Weller for $500 retail. New Weller Millennium coming out at $7,500 retail.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Come on now.
I know. Okay, yeah. And there is some stuff that they're doing that isn't really Double Eagle, very rare.
Yeah. But to be very fair, I am unfair to them when I talk about them because of the secondary market. So for them, if you look at their true retail on WLW, GTS stuff, barrel E.H. Taylor barrel proof,
right? You
can't fault them. They're actually keeping the retail down, man. They're actually doing good things like that.
Right. And I actually did get this bottle at retail. You know what I did?
You took your shirt off
and slapped his belly and
No, it was just this easy. I actually went by a liquor bar and at my lunch break a sandwich, and it just happened to be set out. I'm kidding. None of that happened. Those are all lies, but you can imagine what it'd be like if I did go to a liquor bar during lunch and get allocated bottles.
You'd probably take a selfie with it too.
Right. Absolutely. No, but anyway, let's talk about this bottle. So we, Kenny, before you joined us full time, I think it was like episode 73, maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We did E.H. Taylor small batch. So anybody who's working their way through the catalog would want to go back and listen to that episode for sure. Because Kenny wasn't on it, that's why. And also because we give a lot of history about E.H. Taylor, the brand. Kenny's looking a little bit upset that I said that. He says,
No. Oh. I just remember listening to the first 6 or 8 episodes, and it was just...
He keeps saying that.
BT.
Bunch of
freaking taters.
Yeah, we like BT. So let's talk quickly. Anything that's attractive to you or you want to highlight about this bottle or the tube?
It is green, but it's not rye.
It's not rye.
But at least we know... we know that green signifies their barrel proof. So if you're like walking through a store, you kind of like glance briefly and say, "Oh, green, crap! I need to look at that one."
Right, absolutely. And what's
maroon is single barrel, I guess, right?
Is it maroon or is it black?
It is maroon.
So what's rye then?
Rye is what color is?
I don't
rye?
have a.
Is it
I don't have a rye.
I think it's
here.
red. I think it's red.
Then you're like orangish for the small batch.
Orange for small batch. But they always here's the thing that kills me about these tubes. So I have one other E.H. Taylor barrel proof, and it's older, and the green is a deeper green on the tube. And then on this one, it's a lighter green, right? Mm-hmm. So they've done this too with their small batch. I've seen it go from like bright orange to like almost like a red burnt orange to different colors. And I don't know why it's so inconsistent. Is that got to do with maybe how they're getting them printed up or what, or they're made?
Is it just the HP refills? that they're getting.
On secondary, there was that one like that neon orange small batch.
Yeah,
that people pay double for. Like literally. I mean, I
remember that. Yeah,
I mean, like, come on, man.
Yeah, because the tube color was different, so it was assumed to be something that was more rare. But that was also during the height of the Taterum.
Yeah,
yeah. Can I see that bottle real quick? I just want to see if there's any good information on the back of this, other than that. Marketing. Great Uncle, Zach Taylor, Hardy and Complex, Uncut Unfiltered, yada yada. Love to hear from our customers. They actually have an 800 number on here. Should we call that number right now? I want to call it and see what happens. Don't you want to call it?
What's the number?
It's 1-866-729-3722. Better put that on speaker. Here we go.
Raconteur. Kidding.
What if it's like a live person on the other end?
Is Edmund there, please?
Did you say 1-866?
Yep. 729?
Yep.
3722?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
No answering machine,
800 number
nothing?
does no good.
Jeez, they want to hear from their customers. Well,
Hello. Thanks for calling our customer service number.
Who's?
We're sorry no one is available to take your call at the moment, but it is very important to us. Please leave us your name, phone number, and the name of the product about which you're calling, along with any message you'd care to leave. If you'd prefer to email us, the address is info@Sazerac, SAZERAC.com. Whether you leave a message or email us, someone will respond to you within 2 business days.
2 business
We thank
days.
you again for calling our customer service number and hope you have a great day. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, this is a Tony, and my E8 Taylor barrel proof no tastes good. You call me at 859 TATER Tater. Bye-bye. I left a message for you, bro. There you go.
Oh, man. Well,
Let's see if they call you. Ralph, make sure they call him back.
oh my
Mr.
God.
Ralph Burgess, we are paging you to make sure they call Anthony.
Yeah, poor Ralph's going to call the front office. Do you know these guys?
You know what?
man.
That's sure one way to get media samples.
Dang it, I thought we were going to get on that list. No, we're definitely not getting on it. Oh, man, that's probably the hardest I've laughed in 2 weeks. My goodness, Kenny. I didn't expect for you to execute on that. But
You
there we
laughed
go.
pretty hard Saturday. You had to get up
I
and
was
walk
laughing
away
pretty
from
hard,
me.
yeah. I laugh a lot. I like to laugh. There's nothing
He
wrong
literally
with
got
that.
up and walked. I did it again. All right, so for our listeners, man, I do need to apologize.
Oh, geez, what happened?
I've been listening back through some episodes, and I use the word literally just too much. So
You do?
I'm going to try to work on that. So
Want me to edit that out?
no. Just listening to it, I'm like, dang, I say that a lot.
Oh.
I literally say literally just too much. So.
Well, literally.
But you did get up and walk away. That was very funny.
I always get up and walk away because.
I was cutting you up.
So, here, we're in the middle of a live podcast. Perry's up there taping and everything. And
I'm just.
Kenny's making his jokes
going.
about nothing, not about the podcast, nothing else. I'm laughing so hard, and I'm like, I'm going to look like an idiot now. You're like, it's going to be really quiet, and he's going to look over at me and go, why is this guy laughing like a hyena? So it's like, get up and dart to the back of the room. So thanks a lot for that. Well, one thing I want to say about this bottle before we move on to a little bit of E.H. Taylor history, if you guys will, is did you notice what they've done here at the bottom? So Buffalo Trace used to at least have the personal touch of writing a proof. Like it was handwritten like with a pen. Do you remember that?
Kind of like
A
Blanton's.
marker, like Blanton's.
Yeah.
And now, if you look at the bottom where it says the proof varies, it's very nicely printed, 65.55 and 131.1. So they've automated it.
It's just too much to write nowadays, though.
Well, I think that they could have kept more people employed
Well,
and had them writing.
the people are slowing it down.
That's right. So now they're able to produce more whiskey because they've automated that writing process.
Because of AI.
There you go, because of AI.
Well, I mean, if I had a distillery like that,
Right.
I would print, but it'd be a handwritten looking print. That
Okay.
way you just mass print, but it looks like somebody's handwriting. That way, it still has more of that personal touch.
And the people like me don't get upset about it, right?
There you go.
There you go. Taters.
Upset Tony.
There you go.
That'd be your garbage pail kid.
Upset Tony.
With Tater.
No, Tony the Tater. That's what it'd be.
Tony Tater.
Holy cow. Well, not to bring you
Well, there's
gentlemen.
always two different garbage pail kids for the same picture. There's two different names.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. I remember that. Oh, man, I had a whole
I've still got my collection.
You still got them?
They're upstairs.
I don't know what happened. We had a whole shoebox full, and I think my parents either got rid of them or like it was one of those times where they asked if we wanted them and we didn't want them. So I don't know what happened. But basically, if you guys want your history lesson of E.H. Taylor, you're going to have to go back to episode 73 because I listened to that probably about a month ago. We did a really nice job on the history of Colonel E.H. Taylor. Stephen, give yourself a pat on the back, sir. There you
Careful.
go. There you go. Well, I just wanted to highlight a couple of quick things here. So Buffalo Trace, which everybody knows and loves today, that's actually the distillery that dates back to 1870 with E.H. Taylor at the helm. He wasn't the first one to distill there, but he was the one that was sort of modernizing bourbon, and some have referred to him as the father of the modern bourbon industry. He owned a lot of distilleries, 7 to be exact, but after disputes and bad business decisions, he had to close down, or not close down. He had to get rid of some of his ties to some of the distilleries, and he fought with most other whiskey producers. So little known, the reason he got in a fight with Stagg, do you remember talking about how E.H. Taylor and Stagg were fighting?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But because Stagg was more entrepreneurial, right? He wanted to cheapen up the whiskey and mass produce it more. And Taylor was like, I want people to have good drink, just like that. And so that led to a lot of fighting and whatnot. But one thing we didn't highlight
He'll be upset about this new label then.
I think he would. Yeah. He would want Colonel E.H. Taylor is rolling over in the grave because of the mass production now of this fine whiskey that I'm sure he wanted to see in 12 different varieties when he was distilling. So one thing I didn't highlight, and you guys did not know this, was he actually was married to Fanny Johnson, who in her obituary is described as a handsome woman. Oh. Yeah, apparently she was the fox in Kentucky, the person you wanted to be married to. He had 7 kids with her. She passed away pretty young, but he lived to be 92. He was also the mayor of Frankfort in addition to owning distilleries. He was a catalyst for the Bottle and Bond Act. All around great guy from everything I can tell. You don't see a lot of bad things about E.H. Taylor. He's just seems like a solid guy. And he had a hot chick wife, apparently.
Handsome.
Yeah. Handsome is a different
interesting word.
That's interesting word.
I read that in the, but I guess that was like an old timey thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, like somebody wrote in an obituary that she was handsome. I'm like, well, oh, well,
boys, should we go for our first handsome note?
Yeah, let's go for some.
Let's handsomely nose this.
Knows this.
Literally.
Kenny gave me these huge glasses tonight. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
Gave you those apple bottom glasses.
Apple bottom jeans glass. What is this called, actually? You know what kind of glass this is?
I do not.
Well, all I know is the logo on it is Kentucky Supply and Demand.
Yeah, these are the wide bottom KSD glasses, I guess.
There you go.
I have a ton of glasses in the dishwasher, and I want to get you matching glasses just in case I blind you a little bit.
Okay,
so that's why I try to find 3 of the same ones.
Well, I'm getting some. I am getting a little bit of ethanol, but I'm also getting a little bit of a strawberry note. Is that?
I get fruity, bro.
Fruity, yeah,
yeah.
strawberry fruit.
And when we first poured this, I did nose, and it wasn't coming through like that. But now that it's set for a little bit,
yeah.
Was this fresh crack tonight?
Yes, fresh crack. So
now that's set, man, it's really fruitier than what it was.
Yeah, it's almost like a strawberry fruity flavor. Maybe a little bit of the classic bourbon notes. So a little bit of oak, a little bit of caramel, fruit. Nothing's jumping out though, like crazy. It's very fruity.
Are you getting like a caramel brownie?
Yeah, I get a little bit of those undertones.
I feel like there's a weight to the nosing.
Yep.
I said brownie. Just I feel like there's some chocolate in there.
Oh, fudge! Only I didn't say fudge.
Give me that bottle there, Steven.
Uh-oh.
I want to
He's gonna
pour a little more.
He's gonna hydrometer it. I'm just kidding. So the other thing that I'm kind of getting a little bit of here is a little bit of cola. When I say cola, it's not really cola. Maybe more like a root beer or a birch beer.
Yeah, like a soda fountain drink.
Yeah, there it is. Soda fountain. There you go. Soten fountains.
Old timey
Soten fountains. Just like E.H. Taylor wanted it to be. Remember when he said, and when they uncovered his mash tanks, the first thing they found in there was bubbles. Soda bubbles. I'm just joking. They didn't find soda bubbles in Bourbon Pompeii. You wanted them to, though.
I do want to say something else about this non-age stated.
Yes, please.
I mean, I also can't, like on the flip side, I don't blame them for that, because I would say that they just do it for taste. You know, they'll blend per taste or pull it per taste, and
Right.
it might be a blend of different years. And so it's kind of like just recently we had the Raconteur Rye.
Right.
7 year, $130. You can get a 7 year Heaven Hill bottle bond for $60. You can get a 7 year Jim Beam for $30. 22 bucks.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't age state it because they don't want this whiskey grouped into other whiskeys that do not taste near as good as this that are in the same age category. You know?
Yep.
Or we had the recently with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. There's some Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs that claim 12 year, other 13 some change, blah blah blah.
Right.
And age isn't always the end all be all. So I can understand why they don't age state it. So I'm okay with that. I can understand that.
Right.
The whiskey nerd in me just wants to know everything about it. But I can understand why they don't do it as well, though.
So we have all heard rumors, all of us here, and I think we've even talked about it once or twice. There have been people who claim to either work at Buffalo Trace, it's not direct knowledge, it's secondhand knowledge, or people who have been on barrel picks and have said there is some crazy stuff that goes on at times where someone's picking from a warehouse that's supposed to be Blanton's, but they're picking E.H. Taylor. Or they're picking Blanton's, and
it's a mash bill 1 and a mash bill 2, both.
Yeah,
I've seen people pick Blanton's and said
exactly.
both of that. Right.
And so that suggests kind of back to what you were
back to
saying,
taste.
which is back to taste. And if you're aging everything to taste, does it matter? Now, they do say that this comes from the original Taylor warehouses, so that would have to be Warehouse C. So that's one thing you can at least nail down about it. But for crying out loud, there could be Wellers in Warehouse C, and we wouldn't even know it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's interesting, though. It's got to take a lot of skill to blend a profile. Because think of all the other barrel proof stuff that they have put out. Like the one that comes to mind is a Stag Junior. I know we're supposed to call it Stag, but I'm never going to call it Stag.
Nope,
It's
no,
always been
it's Stag Junior.
Stag Junior
For me.
Yep. So that's also a barrel proof offering that they're putting out that's supposed to be 6 to 8 years old. So it's got to take some skill to differentiate. Otherwise, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out here when we taste it pretty soon here, but we'll see.
What's like Blanton's Gold?
Right.
Since that's a batch, that's consistently great. Blanton straight from the barrel, I've had some that are honestly great, and then some that are just meh.
Right.
And but whereas Gold is consistent, since it's it's just a blend. So
if it's above 131 though, if Blanton's straight from the barrel is above 130, then it's gonna cost you extra money.
yes, but it does that exact cutoff. That is the cutoff.
Above 130, 280, below 250.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of fun time. So,
Well, should we go for a first taste?
sure, why not?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did that just for one person. You know who you are.
Wow.
Ooh, it's warm.
That's very warm. Warming, very warming. Oof, I'm getting a very predominant note here. Very, very predominant note. And it's kind of weird. It's vacillating. First sip is vacillating between like a candied cherry and a medicinal cherry. There's a lot of cherry. Get a lot of cherry? Anybody? Ugh.
Well, I mean, George C. Stagg is a cherry bomb for me most of the time.
Right.
And it's a cola bomb sometimes.
Right.
You mentioned cola earlier on the nose. You mentioned cherry now. I mean, same mash bill supposedly.
Right. What are you getting? You get any predominant? I know you're not usually great
No,
with
I'm getting some cherry as well. But I was going to say pear, but let me go back to it again. Because I usually don't. Pear's a weird one for me usually. But
Getting a lot of oak.
I'm not getting a lot of oak, but let me go back. Well, that was first sip. Let me go back
sip,
again.
Yeah.
Let me go back
for
again.
another sip here.
Because you had 130, 1.1 proof. It's going to take a few sips just to equalize out there. I'm going to have to stick with a little bit of cherry, a little bit of pear, man.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm not getting real oaky, though.
I think that's that. I think that might be that kind of. It's not cola. It's like a root beer, birch beer kind of flavor.
Yeah.
That might be giving off the oak. Yeah. It's almost like I got it now. I think I got it, Steven. It's not oak.
What is it?
If it's cherry and birch beer and everything, maybe the note that I'm thinking of here is like a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Love me some 23.
What's that?
Love me some 23.
23.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper is the cola, is the Woodford of the cola world.
Woodford. Catch pajamas.
With 212 flavors of Woodford, so 23 things in Dr. Pepper.
It's a little bit hot. It's a little hot.
Yeah, so we poured before we even, right when we started recording.
Right.
So it sat for a while, and I did take a small sip and just to see. And then when I asked for the bottle and poured some more,
Right.
it's way hotter now. So as it set for a while, it cooled off a little bit. but it's definitely. I think it definitely drinks its proof,
Right.
Yeah.
Possibly above its proof a little bit. And I always like something to drink under proof.
Right. Well, I'm not ready to write it off yet. I want to try a little bit more as we're talking about it. And not that I'd write it off. It's just, it's very interesting because, to be honest with you, the last bottle of E.H. Taylor barrel proof that I had and enjoyed was a batch 6. And I think I took 3 to 4 years to finish that bottle because I knew I'd probably never get it again. And here I am. This is the first year that I was able to get my hands on an E.H. Taylor barrel proof at retail since that batch 6. So it was 6 batches ago.
Yeah.
But I really took my time with that one. Do you remember what you did with that, sir?
With what?
Kenny?
With what?
With my batch 6 E.H. Taylor?
Do you remember his batch 6?
It involved a night when Caleb was over here and you did something.
Oh, gosh.
When I was...
Yeah, you went to the bathroom. That's hilarious. I forgot that's what that was.
Steven.
Man, so we have this Facebook group that's illegal
Depot.
according to Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
But we have a group that we do samples or sell like open bottles. So like whether, but the thing is we keep it to where it's retail or less. It's like, so if you have a E.H. Taylor that's $3.50 value, you can't, and you only have half of it left. You can't say half of $3.50. I mean, you're we off retail.
Yeah.
So Caleb, dumb and not going to just dumb. Caleb, simple Jack over here. So Anthony's in the bathroom. I take a picture of his bottle, post it in that group for sale for like crazy cheap, stupid cheap. Because Caleb was supposed to, like, once I post it, hit bin instantly. Well, he couldn't get his phone to refresh, couldn't get his page. I promise you, there was a bin that came in about literally 1.5 seconds after he finally got his bin in. So Anthony would have lost that bottle, or so I would have lost my credibility, one of the two.
Oh, man.
In the old Facebook bourbon world.
I came out of the bathroom and I was like, what happened? And they're both like dying.
I was
laughing.
ready to kill him,
He's
man.
like, what?
Oh, my God.
And he's like, Kenny posted his bottle. He's like, I was supposed to bid it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I forgot about
So, yeah,
that.
there you go. I almost lost it. But that was terrible.
So, Anthony, I did pour you something, another glass.
Okay.
If you want to try that.
Oh, here we go.
Steven, I poured you another glass.
Secret
Just try
blinding.
that.
Secret blinding,
Same thing?
man.
I'm not saying whether they're the same or not. Might be, might not be. I do have 2 blinds to go against this. Yep. But just see what it's like. Actually, pour myself some of
I
that.
like the nose better.
Yeah, it's not as much ethanol.
Yeah.
You can actually smell it.
Yeah, the other one, the ethanol did overwhelm the nose a lot.
way smoother.
I think, yeah, it's smooth, but it's different, a little bit different of a profile to me. It's got more of a vanilla and caramel and oak. Caramel and oak and vanilla.
Yeah, it's more standard.
Yeah, more standard bourbon to me.
Take a nip of that, Ant Dog.
Uh-oh. In the Obstinate Sons glass. Obstinate Sons is the one who made the delicious bread pudding that Kenny mentioned earlier in the podcast, which is amazing. So go see old Dexter at
Take a nip
Obstinate
of that,
Sons
Steve-Ian.
if you get the chance. He will make you good bread pudding and serve you good drinks. Yeah.
It's a good place.
Ooh, what is this? Was ist das? That is ein Spectaculars. I like that one a lot. Wow. Okay. So now I've tasted a bunch of things, and I'm not sure what they are, and I'm not sure if we're going to have to rate them against one another or not. But you guys, just to reiterate something about good old E.H. Taylor here, a lot of people don't know that Buffalo Trace did not own E.H. Taylor brand until 2009.
Well, that was just a few years ago.
Just a few years ago, and it didn't even put anything out till 2013 with the E.H. Taylor label. Everything that you saw before that,
4 years.
For what's that?
I said 4 years.
4 years because they had to get that bottle and bond, right?
Yeah.
They had to have the bottle and bond small batch. But everything you see before that, and the funny thing is back when we recorded the other E.H. Taylor episode, I made a joke about a local person binning my half-drank 6-year-old E.H. Taylor.
Caleb?
No, it was Jade actually, and he was mad about it. And I was like, "You can't be mad about that because I told you what it was. It's beam juice, right?" So what happened was Buffalo Trace, when they bought the E.H. Taylor label, they still bottled a 6-year-old Taylor bourbon. It wasn't called like Colonel E.H. Taylor; it was just called Taylor Bourbon.
And the old Taylor though was National Distillers, right?
Before that, yeah. Absolutely.
Because Beam bought National Distillers.
Right, that's exactly right. And so up until 2013, which is pretty modern, when you think about it, right, we're only talking about having E.H. Taylor in the tubes for 11 years.
It's wild.
And there's 12 expressions that they've had, so we won't go through all those. I think we went through them before.
12, not counting the fakes.
Not right.
Or the ones that the employees faked.
Uh-oh.
Remember locally, dude?
Yeah,
a couple years ago?
That was 4 grain, right?
And ended up being a big write-up in the New York Times or somewhere about that. And it was pretty big.
There was 4 grain, fake 4 grain that made it all the way to like shops in New York. And
From distributors, it was fake.
Yep.
So it wasn't just, it was literally, they literally, Kenny Mills, quit that.
But you're talking bad about him again.
Call
the tip line back.
But it came from distributors to some stores.
Right.
So there was some stuff, like shady stuff going on.
There was some crazy stuff going on. That was all involved, I think, 4 grain. And then
I think it was mainly just 4 grain.
Yeah. And then amaranth. My favorite thing about amaranth was that's another ancient Egyptian grain like Daniel Weller. Like, I still don't understand the connection with ancient Egyptian grains to, making Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
But
Illuminati.
Maybe one day.
Illuminati.
Illuminati one day. One day they'll tell me and I'll have to eat crow here and shut up on the podcast. Maybe we get Harlan Wheatley on here to talk about the use of ancient Egyptian grains and Daniel Weller. And
we'll serve him some Tito's.
And, there you go.
Tell you,
Tito's. Wheatley.
Mossick's brother Brandon.
Yep.
Shared cured oak a couple times with me.
Oh man, how was that?
That is honestly delicious, super delicious. Yeah, really good.
Well, I was going to say, what's your favorite E.H. Taylor? But the only ones I've ever had are barrel proof, small batch, rye, and single barrel. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had any.
How about the amaranth? It's different.
Yeah,
very different. The cured oak is honestly amazing. I've not had the marriage or whatever. I haven't had that one.
I think I've had the amaranth too.
Marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Is there's marriage and then the 4 roses marriage? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they say right. But I'm going to say
facts optional podcast.
I'm going to do Princess Bride anyway and go marriage. That's my favorite thing. Hey, seasoned wood.
Yeah,
that's something I don't think anybody should name their bourbon. Seasoned wood.
Well-aged wood, huh?
It's been around the block.
Got some bumps.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Not sure at that point if it's ovened or microwaved, huh?
Ribbed.
Your podcast is now NC-17 rating.
So speaking of Buffalo Trace, fellas, what is one of your favorite things about Buffalo Trace? Put you on the spot there.
It's just a loaded question.
Very loaded. Just
So their events they used to hold before COVID.
Okay.
They used to have like dining events and drinking events, happy hours.
Gotcha.
I used to go there. That used to be a lot of fun.
Well, my youngest got married at the Elmer T. Lee house up there at Buffalo Trace.
Oh wow!
So is that your favorite thing?
Probably no. No, it was a good wedding. I love my son like a lot, but I'm not counting that into Buffalo Trace stuff. Yeah. So probably for me, man, it's probably Freddie Johnson.
Well, there you go.
That's my favorite thing about Buffalo Trace.
There you go.
I love Freddie, dude.
I've never had a chance to meet Freddie,
but dude, you want to talk about just unbelievable guy.
So I know everyone said wonderful things.
It is. He's just legit, man. Just unbelievable.
Yeah. I was going to say too that I actually enjoy standing in line once in a while, going up there and hanging out with the bourbon folk when they line up. But apparently, I'm gonna have to rethink when I go line up because what was that, about 2 months ago? There was
you better wear my bulletproof vest when you go up there.
Incident where some whack job. It was actually on E.H. Taylor release day, wasn't it? So it's E.H. Taylor small batch release day. Did you hear about that, Stephen?
No.
Fired his AR.
Yeah, some guy who had been drinking pulled up in the parking lot.
You hadn't heard any of this?
No. Yeah, he fired an AR up in the air in the parking lot at Buffalo Trace in early morning hours. It was what?
Cops came. He got arrested. He had pounds and pounds of weed in his car.
Yeah.
And
it was a mess.
He was very drunk already at 10 in the morning or 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, whatever it was.
I got away from that. That's not Buffalo Trace's fault, but I do like to stand in line up there, and I do have to say that I still think George T. Stagg's one of my favorite bourbons of all time.
Man, it really is.
Yeah.
Me and my affinity for 2009 George T. Stagg.
Right.
I had a 2006 or 7 at a buddy of mine's house in Bardstown that was also just off the charts.
Did it taste like the black iron fermenter that it's made in? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And here's that one year that everybody talks about, the honey or what, I don't know, 2014, 15. Those don't stack up. Those 2010, 2009, those older ones are just off the charts stupid. Just amazingly ridiculous.
Well, there you go. Good whiskey and good times.
So I'm going to go back and revisit, now that I drank some of the other two that I poured you all myself, I'm going to go back and revisit the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof.
All right. I'm pouring myself. Do you need any more over there, Steven?
Maybe a nip.
You think tiny. It's a fat bottom glass. You poured yourself a freaking 2 fingers there accidentally there.
2
Ant
fingers?
dog.
No. This, so we're just past the neck of this bottle. We're we're just getting to the shoulders.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen on Bourbon R and Dad drinking bourbon and other places.
Uh-oh.
This is where the bourbon gets good. The neck pour is not good.
Yeah, the neck's not ever good.
The bourbon that stays in the top of the neck part just isn't good from what I've been told.
Yeah. The science of the neck pour.
Sorry.
That's tatery.
Rude. I apologize. I'm rude.
The drink gets broader at that point, huh?
Oh, Kenny, we've lost our sponsors again.
Yeah, I need to be nicer.
I mean, the nosing is actually better. Second pour.
It is.
It's less ethanol. A little bit.
I haven't poured myself any in a while. So now that it's set again for 12 to 15 minutes, it's sweeter and fruitier and not as high proof.
And it's definitely.
So
I'm still getting a lot of root beer on this.
Yeah, I would. If you pour yourself any of this, I would let it. But I wouldn't even take a sip after 10 to 12 minutes before I'd even begin to take a sip.
Right.
At all.
You'd probably be disappointed if you just pour it out.
I think so.
This actually changed my mind on my rating.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing here, Kenny? Are we doing anything with your blinds, or are we just going to do a standard?
Well, so you still have some of the blind I poured you.
Right.
Some if you want to drink the E.H. Taylor, then drink the blind that I gave you, and I gave you the third blind, and just see where you rank them at.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Stephen, what I gave him might not be what I gave you.
In mind.
Well, can I have a little bit of the other one, sir?
Yep.
I can't wait because I really think I know what I'm going to do here, but I'm really scared to find out what's in this glass. I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, I'd probably rate that one first.
Okay.
And then my E.H. Taylor would be second, and whatever's in the other glass third.
Okay.
Which is surprising because none of them are bad whiskey. I would not say any of them are bad.
Yeah. The only thing is the E.H. Taylor under 10 minutes in the glass, I'm not a fan.
Right.
After that, it does change a lot, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Stephen, you have the E.H. Taylor?
I do.
And then you have the other thing I poured you?
Correct.
All right. Then I'll give you a third one as well.
I still can't believe you called that comment line. I can't wait for the person to come to work tomorrow and hear that. It's gonna be amazing.
For which one?
It's just gonna be like another this again.
This again, the one you called to tell him how the whiskey was. The one.
the comment line.
1-866.
That's right.
729-3722. It was funny. I thought it was a wrong number until they said info@Sazerac. Then I was like, okay, we got the right number.
Yeah. Well, I was going to give your phone number to them.
Do not.
But, I didn't want all the 17 listeners that we have to have your phone number either. So,
don't call me.
actually, I'm going to give the phone number out. That way all our listeners across the United States.
Just text them. Let them know that you listen.
No. Go to Total Wine and use his number at Total Wine.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Then I'll look like a super customer. When
That's
I'm
right.
not. You can still use my number at Total Wine. Maybe we'll do that one day. See how many phone calls I get.
I'm gonna go the second glass, the first pour.
The first blind.
Mm-hmm. I think this because it opened up more.
Okay.
And then that one.
Okay.
So 2, 1, 3.
Okay. Gotcha. And for me, I mean, if you want, hand me. I'll close my eyes, bro.
Well, I'll hand you these real quick.
Because I can't do it. I mean, I know what they are, so I can't do
close
both.
your eyes.
My eyes are closed.
Okay.
Is there sun glare going on over there?
I'm just trying to. No, that's my bald, oily head.
Okay. Hey, Anthony, before I don't know if you saw this, I saw some old yearbooks of Mr. Mills.
You did? Oh, yeah, upstairs. I didn't see him.
He had hair.
Oh, really?
He did.
I still have hair.
Was it?
It's just moved from my head to my back.
Styling and profiling back then. I wonder if he'll part it like Trump.
There you go.
Wow.
That's quite the back.
Oh, my God. That'd be quite the back.
See him on the beach.
I'm supposed to remember what I'm handing you, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, my
It's
God.
the game, Anthony.
That's the game. Do you know what's funny? As Kenny is doing that, I just noticed on the back of the E.H. Taylor bottle.
Help the guy out.
It says, it's just Listen to this tasting note it gives you, Buffalo Trace. It says,
Is a Woodford Reserve one?
no, it's so underwhelming. Hand selected and bottled at over 125 proof. It reflects the way whiskey was produced in the days before Prohibition. With hints of chocolate and molasses, it's smooth, yet powerful and uncompromising, just like the namesake Colonel E.H. Taylor Jr. So just molasses and chocolate. That's it, guys. That's all you got.
So my caramel brownie was on point then.
There you go. See? You didn't know it, but you could write the tasting notes at Buffalo Trace. Okay. You ready, Kenny? Sorry.
So for me, I have my order. The last glass you gave me, my third glass, is first place.
Okay.
Second glass you gave me is second place. First glass you gave me is last place.
Okay.
So I am,
Okay.
All right.
So the middle glass was the first glass I gave you.
That's not what you gave me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it is.
We'll do this blind in a minute after.
It's
we'll do this
100% what I
blind.
gave him.
All right.
It is.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And with that,
It don't taste like that.
I did not mess up your
All
blind.
right.
I promise.
If you didn't mess it up, all right, I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
And then when we get done with this episode, I'm gonna have you blind me with the exact 3 again.
Okay.
All right.
fellas, would you pass, try, or buy on the E.H. Taylor barrel proof?
There was a little bit of a pause. I think I short circuited there. I was staring at Steven. I don't know. I can make this pretty easy.
Kenny,
So-
did I screw that up?
No.
Okay.
Medusa over there staring at you. Got you turned to stone over there.
I can go first on this. It's a buy all day for me, especially at retail. You know what? If you can get this, it's $70, and it's got a lot of good flavors. I do like this little cola birch beer cherry thing that's going on, and it did settle down after coming off incredibly hot. So, yeah, I'm a buy.
I was going to be a try before we got to the shoulders of this bad boy bottle.
Okay.
So I'm a buy now.
Yeah.
So I like pretty much what you said.
There you go.
Yeah.
I, knowing what I was drinking, was going to be a try. If Anthony really did my blind correctly, then I would have to be a buy.
Did you pick it first?
I don't think so, bro. But you have to blind me in a minute. But always, like we talked about several episodes, at retail, this is a buy.
Yeah.
Any of this stuff is a buy at retail. So if we're talking retail, obviously a buy. If we are talking secondary, I was going to be just a try. Try it at a bar.
Yeah.
Try a pour of it.
I agree with that.
Definitely.
That's good.
Based on this blind that you said you did, I would have to even be a buy at secondary. But I'm gonna stick with a try, and we're gonna do this blind again when we turn the microphones off.
Okay. Well, what can you
What
reveal
are we
now?
both-
What you were blind
So,
against
Anthony, what you picked first place
was one of your glasses.
is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B518.
Okay. That's a banger.
What you
B518.
picked second place is the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof.
Right.
What you picked third place is GTS 2020.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
I had a feeling that was GTS.
Yep.
I thought like this could, and the GTS 2020 is good. I like
Yeah.
GTS 20. I mean, I didn't say it was bad.
Right.
And that's what's in this glass?
Yep. Stephen, what you picked first is GTS 2020
Then I basically
because you picked the.
the second,
Hang on, crap. What'd you pick first place?
the first pour you gave me.
Oh, the first pour was your first place. Oh,
This is the bottle that we're doing.
okay.
This is the first pour you gave me.
Okay.
And then you obviously handed me the drink.
Oh, well, then you picked first place also B518.
Okay.
So both of y'all picked B518.
Okay.
Which is what I think I picked first also. I think
Okay.
Anthony got my glasses screwed up over
You
here.
think so?
Yeah.
What do you think I mixed up? Tell me what you think I mixed up.
1 and 3.
That is possible that I could have.
Because I think second place was GTS, but I think you mixed my 1 and 3 up.
Okay.
Because
That's
I
possible.
got that fruity light as my first drink,
Right.
And I got that deep dark as my last glass, and that's what the B518 is to me.
Okay. The fruity
So-
is what I liked about this.
So you picked B518 first.
Okay.
You picked E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof second, GTS
GTS
third, just like Anthony. Both of y'all picked the exact same.
Oh, wow.
And I think I picked that the same. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I'll roll with it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that I messed it up, but I could be wrong. I thought that I went middle,
And you
right,
might have.
left.
But the reason I did those blinds was the GTS 2020 is 130.4 proof, so it's right in the same proof range as that.
Right.
But it's more of an age stated, right? It's 15 year, they say.
Right.
So you got a 15-year mash bill 1 versus a non-age stated rumored to be 6 to 8 years. What'd you say?
6 to 8 years.
Yeah. So I did those, but then I did the B518 because it is that $59 retail back when it was out.
That was smoking.
But you can still get some of those for $175-ish.
Really?
So that's why I did that on that B518. Is it's $175 still secondary roughly if you can find them.
How many are you sitting on?
My wife listens to this, so I
I
cannot
won't say. Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
yeah.
He takes the fifth.
No, I've actually I only have 6 of them. I only have 6.
Okay.
Only got 6.
Okay.
But
100.
But that's why I did B518 because it's 133-ish proof, but it's just, man, it's good.
Nice.
Very good.
Good stuff.
So, but I'm a solid try.
All right.
All right.
Well, with that, I think that we're going to go get some Weller from the Millennium.
Boom, boom.
Steven, are you looking forward to that release? If you can get your hands on it, you going to buy it? That's the ultra lightning round to end things.
I'm not that generation.
No, Weller Millennium? Are you gonna get it if you can buy it? Real talk. Can you do it? $7,500. If you walk into a store tomorrow and Weller Millennium is there for $7,500, you buying it?
I went into Sam's Club today, and they had one of the expensive Woodfords there on the shelf for 16 and change.
Baccarat?
Yeah, that's that Baccarat with you're paying for.
It was red. It was a
those
red
just
box.
sit there though. Yeah.
But it was there.
So here's the thing. I hate to say it, but yeah, I'm buying the $7,500.
You're buying the Weller Millennium?
You would too.
I probably would too, yeah.
You have to.
And then I have to go home and talk to my wife about how I just spent.
No. How you invested. You didn't spend. You invested.
Well, honey, I just spent 6 times the mortgage.
You invested.
I have 3 kids. I can't.
Yeah.
Bro, you have to.
You got to.
You have to.
Got to.
That's like buying an Amazon stock at 1/3 the price. You have to. It's an investment. Turn around and you can resell it.
Call us. We'll come over there and put
I mean,
3 credit cards.
If I know I can unload it within 2 minutes, I'll buy it.
Yep, you could.
Well, I think we were nice to BT on that episode.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate. That's what I was going to say for my closing remarks. Buffalo Trace is good. Rock Hill Farm, Elmer T. Lee, Blanton kind of do without, but Buffalo Trace picks.
Yeah.
Dude.
Solid.
For $30, $40, tastes great, good flavor. Eagle Rare, tastes great, good flavor.
Less filling.
Obviously, the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye is probably my favorite thing they do. So besides Freddie,
yeah,
I'd say my favorite thing that they do is probably Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye.
Okay.
George C. Stagg would follow that.
Yep.
But even this was great. I've had some E.H. Taylor single barrels. Great. So if it wasn't for the secondary market, I would not have the fact that I think that their marketing leads to their secondary pricing.
Right.
So I think they are in part of it's their
Well,
marketing.
because nothing's on the shelves.
Yeah. So I think it's
the problem.
I think it's so that's why I still blame them some. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have that skewed opinion of them. So they do make very good product. Definitely very good product.
There you go.
All right, get your BT picks. Boom.
Boom.
And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code THEMASHUP for a special discount.
Also,
head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code MASHUP for a 15% discount.
let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.